Welcome everyone to Nerds in a Box, Season 2, Episode 2. Welcome in. If you're just joining us, we're Nerds in a Box. I'm John Dwyer.
Dennis Castello.
There we go.
Lacey Malik.
So this is a weekly podcast we've been doing it for a little bit. So we just started our second season. We should have gotten the first episode up. So Dan forgot to tell us about it, but we're good.
Man,
So
life happens though.
yeah, life happens. We're all busy. So, but today on the episode we're going to be talking about Convergence. We're going to be talking about the new all-female Avengers team, A-Force, Daredevil trailer, the possible rumor of Angelina Jolie directing Captain Marvel. What? The live-action Legend of Zelda series, possible cancellations, and then the Doctor Who and Wall-E Legos that were also announced. So, we've got a jam-packed show, so let's get right into it. So we're going to start with Convergence, and this is DC's major event for the year. This almost seems like it's not a rebranding, but a lot of fans are feeling like it's a rebranding.
Man, I don't think anyone's actually just read any of the articles about it, and they're just kind of seeing the headline, which is kind of misleading.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, all the headlines are like, new titles coming out from DC, and
New 52 no longer exists.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I feel like it was a little
It's like a
sensationalist.
clickbait title almost.
Yeah, and I mean, that's how you gotta get people to read. But, so there's been two big things going on, events going on. One is Future's End. It's a weekly. Right now it's on number 40, so it's been going on for a bit. And that takes place in the Earth Prime. And then there's World's End, which takes place in Earth 2. What happens? Stuff happens in Earth 2, which causes all the Earth 2 people to come to Earth Prime, and or Earth 1. Is it Earth 1 or Earth Prime? Anyway, yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. And there's a big. I'm trying to not give away spoilers.
I hear you.
I'm trying to
I feel like at this point though, if they're not reading, then it's not really a spoiler.
Yeah.
It's issue number 40.
Here.
Just say it.
I'll fix this. Spoilers for Future's End and World's End. If you don't want to hear it, go ahead and skip through this.
So big bad Brainiac comes back, and it's gonna.
He's kind of combining.
Yeah.
Worlds. It's almost like he's bringing back pre-New 52.
Yeah.
Back into the fold.
So they're gonna bring a big twist or something like that after.
Yeah.
And pretty much is gonna just strand all of Earth 2.
Yep.
Pretty sure that's what's gonna happen from what I've been reading. They're also trying to prevent something. This computer AI that it's made and by Mr. Oh my goodness, I can't even remember his name. Mr. Terrific? Man, I'm doing
Not
awful.
Mr. Fantastic
Yeah,
though. We know it's not
For
that.
once.
He doesn't mess up.
Rampaging robot. I mean, it wouldn't be the future if we weren't trying to stop computers from destroying everything.
And it does a damn good job at destroying everything. So McGinnis comes back and he's trying to.
Thank God, they're actually making his Batman, Batman Beyond. Finally, I'm glad that they made that canon. It's he exists in our universe. He's a legitimate thing.
Yeah.
So
a little incompetent, at least I think he is. But it's weird because he's more competent in his his little show than he seems to be in Future's End.
Yeah.
But maybe his actual comic will fix that and he'll be more Batman-y. Anyway, that was pretty much what I was trying to get to. Batman Beyond is gonna be an actual comic. They're bringing a whole bunch of new titles.
Yeah. Well, actually, the whole point is that they're bringing new titles. I think it's about to be 49.
Yeah.
So it's the new 49. People are making a joke instead of new 52 or new 59. So some of the new 52 titles that are coming out. Batman Beyond, Black Canary, Cyborg is finally getting his own series. Red Hood and Arsenal, Constantine, Green Lantern, Lost Army, Harley Quinn's teaming up with Power Girl for their own comic, and that's just a list of some of them. The main one I'm super excited about because if you've been watching the show, you know I love Martian Manhunter. He's finally getting his own comic DC's finally giving him something aside from like, you're in Justice League, now you're in JLA, now you're in JLU. So like they're actually giving him his own comic, and I can't be more excited. Thank you
Thank you,
DC.
DC. Thank you, Base DC.
I'm so excited for it. It's oh man, as soon as that comes out, I'm gonna get it immediately.
I'm excited for Red Hood Arsenal. I've been reading Red Hood and the Outlaws because
Yeah.
I just love Red Hood, Jason Todd, right? Yeah, and it's hard because I guess they're not picking up as much as they should be. But
Well, at Arsenal, bring like Roy Harper into the fold because.
yeah, well they had for the Outlaws they had Red Hood, Arsenal, and Starfire. So
Yeah.
I guess they're just taking.
But I
out
know like some
Starfire.
fans are like unhappy with how they were treating Roy Harper, so the fact that like they're making it the two of them teaming up is really cool. Like two Red Hoods almost, you know. So that's gonna be another one to look forward to. And Black Canary as well. Taking her out of Birds of Prey
Yeah.
and putting her in her own series is gonna be really cool. And especially it's gonna be great with Arrow right now getting into Laurel becoming Black Canary. I think it's gonna be great, and I think like they're gonna do that to also like push sales too. So that one, I mean, Laurel's already starting to like do a somewhat decent job as
Yeah,
Black
it's
Canary.
somewhat decent.
Somewhat decent. I mean, I can't say she's doing a great job because she's still like getting her
Yeah.
butt kicked constantly, but she's doing.
I
she's
feel like
doing
they should have
much
started
better.
her training out earlier, sooner. So
I
that
feel
way
like,
she's already
I mean-
kind of prepared a little bit.
I mean, I'm glad they're doing it because we talked about this last week, but like Arrow, they have a trend of like, you know, Oliver had like 5 years of training and he's really good, and then they had Roy who had like trained like a few months of training with
Yeah.
Oliver, but like years on the streets, and then now
That
it's.
was
Yeah, and Sarah had her training, which was like shorter than Oliver's, but still longer than Roy's. And this was like Laurel has a few months.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's still worth mentioning though that like now they announced that Batgirl's going to be in the Teen Titans series,
yes,
which is huge because
Yeah.
I'm like super excited. But they're not sure, like it's not confirmed if she's going to be like Batgirl, if she's going to be Oracle. The only thing that they said was that Nightwing is going to be like a detective. Start out as a detective.
who's making up Teen Titans for this new series? Like, not who's writing, but like who's going to be on the team? Because I haven't looked at that yet.
Okay, so far I think it's Nightwing for sure, and then they have, I'm pretty sure they said Raven, and Starfire I think has come into play, and then now they have Batgirl, and then I'm not sure about Beast Boy or not, probably Cyborg, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Cyborg. Well,
No Cyborg.
yeah, I was gonna say like he's already in JLA. He's one of the All
I
Stars.
know, I
Yeah.
hate Cyborg.
Or sorry, not JLA. The Justice League. Sorry.
Hold on, is Dan, are you gonna look it up?
thanks, Dan.
Look it up.
Well, Hawk and Dove, except Hawk and Dove are going to be male-female.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hawk and Dove. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dan. Thanks. I mean, you're our information guy. You're the
Yeah.
shout out when you get something wrong.
And right now there's no confirm about Beast Boy either.
Yeah.
No confirmed about Beast Boy? Alright. So, we'll let you know when we hear about that. The other big thing, too, is that they're also bringing back Oracle. They're bringing back Oracle, and her relationship with Dick Grayson?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're bringing that back from Bree New 52.
Mhm.
So everyone's freaking out about that one as well, because I know that was a sore spot for some people when that came out, is that they
Yeah.
got rid of that relationship, and they just were like, that's gone now,
But
sorry.
then at the same time, they're making up for it kind of a little bit in Batman Eternal with her having relationships with like Tim and the other Robins
Yeah.
because she didn't really like have too much of a relationship with them
Mhm.
prior. It was kind of more like I'm just with Nightwing or I'm just by myself or I'm just talking to Batman. It
Yeah,
was never like I'm also like included in this entire family kind of thing, which
Yeah.
I think is really important.
exactly. So it's good to see, it's good to see that they're bringing that back as like fan service
Mhm.
almost. And some of the returning ones, obviously you have, you got Superman, you got Flash, you got Wonder Woman, like those are all coming back. The standard ones pretty much coming back. Some of the ones that aren't,
Staying around.
that aren't as big as like Superman or Wonder Woman, all of those. We've got, let me see, Catwoman, Catwoman, Harley
Catwoman,
Quinn.
man.
Yeah, Catwoman's
awesome.
coming back. Deathstroke, Gotham Academy is also still going to be coming back. That's not going anywhere. Harley Quinn, the new Lobo, that one's kind of been like hit or miss for people. And then Sinestro. So those are just some of the ones that are going to be sticking around. We'll post a list of like the complete like new and continuing series, but that's just some of the ones that are coming out. So that's going to be huge, especially because like Marvel also just announced their new their new series.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with them having
Now theirs is a remake.
with them having Secret Wars this year, basically resetting their universe in a sense. Like this is DC's way of being like, this is what we're also going to bring to the table. And so Marvel, like I think it was either the same day or the day after that, like some of these were announced. They announced a new all-females Avenger team called A-Force. So
Yes.
it's going to be written by G. Willow Wilson, who writes Ms. Marvel and X-Men, Marguerite Bennett, who writes Angela as Asgard's assassin, and the drawings, the drawings are going to be done by Jorge Molina, who's huge. Like I know he's one of like Marvel's gems. Like everyone loves his drawings. So that's a good team. That's a really good team.
I
Right
think it's
there.
also worth mentioning that we also found out around the same time that Michael Bendis isn't coming back to write for X-Men.
Yeah.
So, which is huge because, I mean, I'm a huge fan of X-Men and Michael Bendis, I think he does a great job. And
Yeah.
they said it's mostly pretty much confirmed that it's because he's taking a step back with his show Powers that's coming out.
Mhm.
So,
Is he still gonna write Guardians of the Galaxy?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
They just said for sure that he was gonna step down from X-Men.
No, I know, like some people like that because I know for Bendis, the main negative part about him is that sometimes the storylines just take too much time to get to. It takes too long to answer a question, and sometimes it can be a letdown when you get to it. Like the Planet Venom thing, that seemed like kind of a rushed issue. Like it was, they only were there for like one issue, and the answer is just that like they actually are good, but because like they go so far away, the travel and the communication between Planet Venom and the other like symbiotes can mess with them, and when they're looking for the perfect host, so it can be the perfect species, and when they find the bad person, then they turn evil. So they're actually not evil; they're actually good, and they made Flash Thompson, Agent Venom, like they made him awesome. He like his new suit. It basically looks like if Iron Man made a Venom suit. That's essentially what it looks like. It looks really good.
The Venom suits, is that like the same parasites that are like the Carnage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, same thing.
They had a short run with Deadpool versus Carnage, in
Yes.
which he becomes host to like 6 different parasites at the same time, and
That sounds like Deadpool.
yeah, and it ends up beating the crap out of Carnage. But like, I was trying to figure it out. I was like, who's actually bad?
Yeah.
Is it the parasite or is it the?
It can be a mixture, because if they mix with a bad person, they become bad, but also if, because the planet's like millions of light years away when they try and communicate with it, like the travel and the communication, like the psychic communication, can mess with them sometimes. And so if it's literally, everything has to be literally perfect, or else they turn evil. Which
Okay.
seems kind of like, I seem like after the first few times, you're like, maybe we should stop doing that, or like, wait. So, but anyway, so going back from Bendis, all new all new A-Force. So we're gonna have, not X-Force, we don't need another
We don't
X,
need
we got
another
X6. Avengers A-Force, we've got Dazzler, She-Hulk, Medusa, Nico Minoru, Spider-Woman, Elektra, Scarlet Witch, not Captain
Spider-Man.
America, Captain Marvel's gonna be on it. Like we've got a whole bunch of really kick-ass females from Marvel that are on it, and we're also gonna introduce Singularity.
Yeah, and
who,
she's
apparently she's gonna push the envelope for Marvel, so people don't know exactly what she is or what she's gonna do exactly. So that's gonna be coming out, I believe, in the middle of in the summer.
What do you mean push the envelope though?
Like it's new for them.
Okay.
Like the speculation is that it could be a trans character.
Oh.
And that kind of like pushing the envelope of like almost revolutionizing it or bringing something new to the table. We don't know what it is yet. It could just be something else entirely. But when you use like we're gonna push the envelope or we're gonna use things like that, that's kind of what you think.
Isn't she a cosmic event though?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it seems like she's this cosmic event, but we don't exactly know.
More than that, yeah. And
Yeah.
also it's like really interesting because some of these characters have already been on teams together. Like Scarlet Witch and Rogue currently are on a team together. So and they're not getting along. They haven't been this entire series. So to push them and make them go for Avengers or A-Force, something really has to, I think, happen.
Well, and Elektra on the team too. Like this is
Yeah.
I mean, you list all these all these women. It's like some of them are clearly not going to get along with each
I
other,
don't even know why
especially Medusa.
Nico is even like.
I think this could be like part of their like big event though, in the sense of like they had to come together
Yeah,
for some reason, because other than that, these characters don't really get along at all.
No,
exactly.
it seems like She-Hulk is the forerunner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which makes a lot of sense, because she was already like on the Avengers before, and
Exactly.
they tried to do her own comic, or they
Why
still
not
are doing
Carol?
it. Yeah.
Why not Captain Marvel? I mean,
I don't know.
she's-
Well, she's been off though, off planet, hasn't she? So it's kind of maybe
yeah. She's been off planet. She's been with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mhm.
She's been
Which has
yeah,
been
she's all over the
really
place.
sweet. Her being with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I really
and
like that one.
she's been dating Rhodey, which I also think was
Yep.
really interesting.
That was fun to see.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's weird because you mentioned all that stuff, but it does not happen in her comic.
Yeah.
Her dating Rhodey does happen in her.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but
But the Guardians of the
she kind of
Galaxy
like breaks up with him
Yeah.
when she like.
goes into space.
Leaves.
Yeah.
But that's weird because like all this stuff that's happening with Guardians simultaneously is happening in her comic, and man, literally her comic is just her going off on these crazy like adventures, and one of them is a cross up, is a mashup between Rocket Raccoon and her, where her cat turns out to be a Flurkin.
Yep.
And I mean, it was fantastic. I thought it was a fun read, but
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I guess it's just so weird that like when you're talking about like all the stuff she's doing in space with Guardians, I'm just like, really? Is that happening? I
Yeah.
well, it happens in the Guardians
I don't,
comics.
yeah.
so-
I think at the same time though, they don't really know what to do with her. You know, like they don't. I remember when they were doing A versus X for a while. There was one in particular issue where she was playing poker, because I thought A versus X was the first couple issues were
Yeah,
really
yes.
cute.
Yeah.
And when she was playing poker with Wolverine,
Yeah.
and there was like a whole situation where she's like, it was kind of like, oh, I am a better poker player than you. Oh, it's like they don't get along. So I think maybe like they're taking that kind of attitude of she might not get along with a lot of these because she thinks she's a powerhouse
She is.
or she is a leader.
She is.
I mean, she is a powerhouse, but the cockiness will not help her in a team environment. And not having Captain America there too, probably,
What?
or Iron Man won't help her either.
Yeah. Well, I really want to know, like, why they come together. Is there some big event? I know right now, like the somewhat the mini-series event for Marvel right now is the Black Vortex,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be like a 3-month thing. That's this month, March, and then
Is it a weekly
People.
comic or?
no, the way it's working is that they have like Black Vortex,
Happens of-
Alpha, and then they have it's primarily a Legendary Star-Lord storyline because it involves Mr. Knight, who is Jason of Spartax.
Yeah.
So
They have all these.
that's involving their
all the
comics.
side issues.
They only have 2 actual Black Vortex
Okay.
comics right now, and then it goes into like X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy and Legendary Star-Lord.
Okay, so it's
and
like
that's
Infinity again.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's kind of how they're doing it. So I don't know if that's actually going to be a reason why they come together. If it's going to be another mini event thing beforehand. So
Well, Infinity was cool because it brought the Inhumans.
yeah,
So
that was really cool.
that was neat.
Oh, that was a great event. I
Yeah.
love
It-
that one.
It took a while to get to where it needed to be.
It
Like
did.
what were they, the creators and stuff like that?
Yeah, the creators took a while.
Yeah, or engineer. Were they? Man,
I think
sorry.
they oh, you know what?
Might be the engineers or is it the creators?
I
Oh, well, big super beings,
Yeah.
gods actually. So, and then they dropped that Targaryen bomb, was it?
Oh, yeah.
Terrigen.
Terrigen
Terrigen
bomb.
bomb,
There.
yeah.
I was halfway there.
They dropped the Terrigen bomb. That was huge.
Yeah,
And they introduced Thanos' son,
yeah.
which actually is a main player in the Black Vortex storyline. So Thane,
Yeah, he disappeared for a second, right?
Yep.
Okay.
he disappeared, but he's on his own planet and he's doing he's essentially like, I don't want to say he's the planet's messiah, but he basically like is a prophet to these people on this planet, and then he watches out for them.
That's cool.
So.
It's like when Raynor becomes a White Lantern and just starts doing like Messiah stuff all over the galaxies.
But we're gonna get more news on that as it comes out, so we'll keep you updated on that one. I'm excited for it, but that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then staying in the Marvel Universe, the Daredevil trailer came out this week.
Yeah.
Came out, it was like was like a minute and a half, 2 minute long trailer, and they had the new thing where it's like the teaser for the
The
teaser.
teaser was frustrating because it was so short. Like,
Yeah,
I
well,
got,
it's 15 seconds. So
It was-
it's literally a teaser for the teaser.
They're just
Yeah.
doing it because they can hit the audience on Instagram and
Yeah.
not with like a teaser.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
That's why the whole like teaser for the trailer is now a thing.
Um,
But I don't know. I liked the Daredevil trailer. I think that like
I
it
do
looks
too.
gritty, and I like that it's going to look gritty, and it looked like it had a lot of cinematography aspects of kind of like House of Cards.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
and you know clearly like Netflix can get their hands on that good cinematographers. So
I know.
I'm excited for that.
Well, you know, it's like
I
they're.
like his outfit, man.
Yeah, it's with the
It's
last.
Actually, that was my biggest problem that I had. Yeah, his outfit, because it made me think of like they're just about to do they're gonna do an Iron Fist one too, and it
Does it
reminds
remind you
me
too much
too
of
much
it?
of Iron Fist.
I can see that because of, you know, he's got. I mean, it's the all black suit. He's not. He doesn't have the traditional red one with the horns yet. He's got the. Yeah, he's got the.
It's
almost
the whole
bandana
the
tie on.
bandana thing is what bothered me the most. I think maybe if you took that away, then that might help a little bit. Like just a regular mask, you don't have to tie it behind you. But it was the fact that he had the bandana and how he was like portrayed jumping around in between like crates and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Which
I mean,
really
big
bothered me.
containers. Yeah.
Because I was like, Iron Fist, you're about to launch this, it kind of doesn't make sense. You have two similar characters.
I can see
They,
that.
they are very different though, as far
Yeah.
as like their prowess and combat and stuff. But I mean, Iron Fist obviously has like all the magic,
Magic.
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
magical kung fu powers. But I mean,
But when how much of that are they going to bring to the Netflix series is kind of
I don't know.
the point, you know?
Yeah.
Because if they don't, then you kind of have a similar character to Daredevil, but he's just blind. And I would have liked better, instead of the whole preaching thing, if they would have done more like in a courtroom setting,
yeah.
instead
Okay.
of like
Yeah,
the
would've-
preacher. Like I know his religion plays like into
It's-
his
yeah, it's huge
decisions, but at the
into
same time, like it was like one of those, you always see this kind of happening in
Yeah.
shows or something. And I'd rather have had like a courtroom setting where he was weighing like if this was a good call or not.
So are you okay that it also is following the Catholic background in Daredevil? You just wanted the trailer to
Yeah,
have like more of his
I was
legal
fine with
work
that. I
in
just
it?
wish that they would touch like this. There was nothing touched
No,
on
there,
his like.
you would not have
his
known
day
he's a
job. That
lawyer.
was-
Yeah.
And I think that is more of a big deal in his life than
Yeah.
I think anything else. Because I don't know if I recall, that's one of the reasons why he kind of like made the call to, because he didn't see justice being done,
Yeah.
right? So I felt like maybe in the trailer.
It's because he's blind justice.
Yeah.
So.
One thing I hope two things I hope. I hope that he doesn't have too many fights where it's just black and we can't see. We just hear a bunch of sound effects.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It'd be neat the first couple of times, but we don't get to see anything. And then I hope they have like they did in the Daredevil movie. Sorry, I know, but I really did like his like sonar vision,
Mhm.
his echolocation. When you know somebody would shoot something or throw something, he could see it.
Yeah.
And then like that car explodes, and then his world just goes to hell. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope we get to see something like that. But at the same time, I hope we don't see a bunch of black fights.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That sounds super racist.
Man,
I mean, fighting is
yeah, in the
is
dark.
big, but
Fighting.
yeah, like.
Yeah.
pitch
I-
black.
I actually really liked it. You know, I like the fact that since they're on Netflix, they can be like, no, we can go darker with this. We're not going to be like insanely dark, but it's going to be gritty. It's Daredevil's not necessarily a happy character. It's not a happy comic, and that needs to be reflected in Netflix series. So I kind of liked what they did in the trailer. Right now, I have no problem with Charlie Cox. I still think he's.
No, I think he
A
was
good
the
choice
perfect
for it.
choice for
The
it.
interesting thing is that they actually didn't show. We didn't get to see Louis Esposito as Kingpin. We just saw him from behind. That was just one shot of him from behind. We didn't see what he looks like. So I'll be anxious to see, like, when they release a new trailer, what exactly he looks like.
I mean,
So
we all know.
and we all know what he looks
Yeah.
like,
But like, are we just like, oh, is he gonna have a beard? I mean, like,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
gonna be a bald guy.
like getting the official look. I still want to see like what
I
he
think they did
looks
good,
like.
like having that silhouette though,
Yeah.
because it kind of
Yeah.
just referenced like that this is going to be a little bit different and that they're not going to give too much away.
Well, they also had they had Stick in there who trained their they had the bits and pieces of who makes Daredevil in there, and I think it's gonna be really cool to see. And I actually like that he's
I want to see cameos. I want to see Moon Knight.
that
Oh.
Moon Knight.
I mean,
Moon Knight would be great.
Yeah.
But actually, I agree with what he said on the whole showing his his lawyer side. I actually like the fact that it was him talking to a creature, like confessing, because a lot of his comics are usually about him dealing with this anger that sometimes he can't control who gets justice and who doesn't, and so it's him reconciling that anger so that he can go out and be the hero, anti-hero that he's supposed to be. Because
I think it's cliche. Like I think like that whole motif is cliche because they do that a lot.
Well, they do
Like
a
that's
lot,
probably
but-
just my phone person talking, but like they do like the whole like I have a confession a lot, or then they
yeah,
would also do the whole like you've heard this story, but not like this
yeah,
every time, and that drives me nuts.
I think it's kind of cool because it kind of shows that he's at the point that he knows that the courtroom has its place and it's not what he thinks he needs to do.
yeah.
So the only place to go would be
But yet he's always still a practicing lawyer,
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing, which I think is important because She-Hulk was also a practicing lawyer, and like they and her when her comic came out, they kind of had like a crossover kind of thing, and I thought that was really cool because
Yeah.
they talk to each other
she
beyond.
also doesn't have a secret identity.
That's true.
Like,
It's kind of impossible for her.
Yeah.
Um,
She didn't really have a choice. Kirsty Bruce Banner.
That'll be really cool. I mean, I'm excited for it, and it's coming out in April, like April 10th, I think. All 13 episodes come out the same day. I'm not used to that. I don't watch Netflix shows, so I'm not used to having like
in
every
all
single episode. I'm gonna have to use discipline and be like, all right, I can only watch one a day or like once
You
every.
can't. It's
No way.
so hard. You have to
I'm,
be like,
I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna literally
Yeah.
watch all of them
Yeah.
first day so I can talk
But you
about
can
it.
rewatch it too. Which
Yes.
is the great thing about it.
That's what
I don't know.
that's gonna
But
be.
also at the same time, did they say if Elektra is gonna? I assume she would make a cameo. Like,
They haven't said anything about Elektra.
Yeah, I assume like at least she would somewhat
Cameo.
appear in a cameo, maybe at the end of
Cameo.
season 1.
Yeah.
You know, and lead into season
They act-
2.
As
Yeah,
long as
that's
she's
what
not
I'm
like a part of the, because I mean, not that I wouldn't mind seeing her, but as long as they don't start focusing on anybody else except
Yeah.
for, because that's what I liked about Arrow a lot. Like it
Yeah.
was Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't actually said anything about Elektra that I've seen.
Mhm.
So as far as we
Yeah.
know, she's not gonna be part of it. But you're right, she could be like a season 1 storyline, and like they end on that, and then they follow up with that in season 2.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool. Speaking of other Marvel shows, Agent Carter is one of the 2 shows that we're going to talk about for possible cancellations.
Rest in peace.
Yep. Agent Carter right
Well,
now.
you knew it was going to be like a mini series. That was the hard
Yeah.
part about it. Like you
Exactly.
know the end is coming. You just don't want it to end.
Exactly. Well, that's that the ratings have been getting like steadily worse and worse as it's gone on, and February's been actually a really bad month for every single superhero TV show right now because like Flash's ratings are down, Arrow's ratings are down. So it's not like specifically just Agent Carter, but also it's going down enough to the point where that people are wondering if it's going to be renewed, even if it's going to finish up its season on the air.
It's a shame because like
It's such a
It's a
good
really
show.
good
really
show.
good show.
It's a really
Especially
good show.
because it is actually tying more into the Marvel Universe than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did, which says a lot because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was current, and they didn't
Yeah.
really start tying it until later on, which someone pointed out to me, and I didn't realize that that's what it was
We've
going
got
on.
the Black Widow
Yeah.
storyline.
We got the Black Widow program. Like that, I
Yeah.
was freaking out.
We've
like,
got a
that.
training program.
Yeah.
Like we have that, and
Mhm.
that's what's going on in that
Yeah.
storyline.
And my favorite thing about the Howling Commandos episode was that, not only did they show that she's treated like an equal, but that she can
Yeah.
get stuff done.
Exactly.
And I don't know, it's might be just, but Chad Michael Murray's character seems so out of place to me in that whole
I can-
series.
I can understand that.
Yeah. It's a little weird, I don't know.
They tried to like flesh him out a little bit and give him like more backstory as to why
I think that kinda made it
he
worse
is who
for
he
me.
is. It humanized him a little bit for me, so I was more okay with it. I mean, I still am not like, yeah, I like that
Yeah.
character. I'm like,
It's,
you're less awful,
I
but
really think like every male character in that show is inexcusable, but like
I actually like Sousa.
I mean no, Sousa is I don't like Sousa because he's like the fedora kind of like nice guy.
Fedora that's the worst insult you can give somebody, a fedora nice guy.
I mean like
That's like douchebag status.
it's because like everything he does in the show is just like don't worry man, I'm your white knight.
I don't think
harder.
it's more like that. I think it's just kind of like he's trying to find his place like in a conscious way, like being like a conscious.
It's best intention. There's
Yeah.
best intentions. It's not like he's trying to like
Yeah,
shoot like
because he's also treated like a
he's treated like a
person,
crap. Yeah.
so that's probably how he
That he
wants to
finds
try
a
to help.
connection
Yeah,
there, yeah.
and she just won't give it to him, and that
Yeah.
makes it worse,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So
I love Jarvis though.
Yeah.
Jarvis is
Team Jarvis for life.
I know.
Jarvis is pretty great. But the whole point is that that one and Constantine both are on the bubble. I mean, Constantine, like any NBC show, is on the bubble. That's got a cult following, like they all do.
Man,
So,
that's a cult I'm proud to be a part of.
Yeah.
I don't want to say when that show goes, but when that show goes,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be real sad about it.
I mean, it just needs like 2.5, 3 million tops in order to be renewed by NBC.
Yeah.
It seems like
Just
every time.
not.
Love NBC, but
Yeah. Well, NBC is just so harder.
it is.
But at the same time, like Netflix, because Gotham did get picked up for another season.
Yep,
Yeah.
Gotham got picked up.
But before Gotham got picked up, Netflix was saying that they made a deal with Fox where they would pick it up even afterwards, so that they
Really?
would have it on their series. Which
Wow.
is a huge deal because
That
not
is
only
huge.
does that mean that Netflix is willing to save television shows, but it means that other networks are willing to give it to them, kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the whole point is that if you want to save Agent Carter, you want to save NBC.
Watch 'em.
Well,
You
first
can't
off,
save NBC, but if you want to try,
excuse me, not Constantine, not
Yeah,
NBC.
yeah.
But watch them live. Watch them on ABC or NBC.com, like 1 or 2 days after. Like if you have DVR, record it. That way, they're still tracking those numbers. The other way to do it,
Writing it
earlier this
better.
week, Tessa actually posted on her Facebook. She posted a link to an Agent Carter fan page where if you want to know how to tell NBC that you really want to save Agent Carter, you really want them to bring it back, there's a number you can use, there's all these different ways you can get the word out to ABC that you don't want to get canceled. That and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So if you want to do that, go ahead look on our page, you'll find it, and then you'll be able to use that there.
At the same time, though, I would like to point out that Once Upon a Time is still going, and that has the worst CGI effects I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's on ABC. So
I
they have the
actually-
money to keep some shows alive.
I actually don't watch that show.
Thank God.
Everyone
I watched the
says
first episode, and
everyone says it's pretty good
first
though.
season. I watched the first 3 seasons. This is the thing, the first season. Sorry, this is a sidetrack thing. But the first season is good because it's an original story kind of thing, and they based it a lot off of Fables.
Yeah.
Like the idea and concept came from Fables, which is already a really good comic.
Yeah.
And so they took that, and that's why a lot of people were excited. But then you get into the second, third season, and it just gets repetitive, and to the fact that they're turning the same villains into even more villains
Mm.
that are, you thought Ursula was actually this person. You're wrong. It was actually Snow White's, evil stepmother
Yeah.
kind of thing, which makes it bad. But then, their wardrobe and CGI is just terrible. Half of the wardrobe is kind of I saw that in Forever 21. I'm a Latin wet seal. I go to the mall too much, but I know this kind of thing.
I mean, Tessa watches it, and for the record, she's a huge Elizabeth Killian shipper. So shout out to Tessa. I follow you on Tumblr. So I know
You know too much already.
I know too
Yeah.
much. But yeah, I know Once Upon a Time is constantly doing well. So that's one of the shows that people are like, oh man, I wish that the people that watch that would also watch Agent Carter. Because the whole thing about that too is that Once Upon a Time, it's got Elizabeth and she's the main character, or at least she's supposed to be the main character, and so it's
It's just
it's two
difficult.
great female
Yeah.
leads in the show, so it's
Yeah.
I wish that
I
people
wouldn't
would
put
also
Agent Carter
watch.
on the same
Agent
tier
Carter.
as Once Upon a Time, though. It's
Well,
much
yes, but you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I get what you're
in
saying,
terms
but
of that aspect.
It's just very difficult. Yeah. So, but ABC has the funds, is what I want to say, because Disney, they
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
They
can
do
what
whatever
they
they
want.
want.
I think
But-
they're just worried that they might run out of how to not overlap these stories,
Yeah,
stories you've already known, how to not touch on Red Skull or.
I think they can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole the whole thing about it is that people are actually wondering if they're going to cancel it right before it ends. Literally, next episode airs and then that's it. I don't think they're going to do that because they already said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back in March. They have that premiere date. I don't think they're going to do that and then play
Yeah.
an episode of The Middle or The Goldbergs. I don't think they're gonna put another TV show in that spot. They already filmed it. Why not just show it?
Yeah.
Just show it. It's 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
It's 3 weeks. Even if it doesn't get a second season, just let it run its course, and then we can have that.
Just having the one season would be.
Having one season would be
Yeah.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd want more, but having just one season would be great, so that we can fill in some of the Peggy backstory that we missed out on
Yeah.
when Captain America jumps
Yeah.
into the new.
And then there's also been
century.
a few rumors that Chris Evans might be appearing or has appeared on one of the episodes that's about to be shot because he recently they're really into Chris Evans,
Yeah.
but he shaved his beard and he didn't really have like a reason to do that and it was way before the whole Super Bowl bet. So they're not sure if maybe it was because he made somewhat of an appearance for a flashback episode or not.
That'd be cool. I mean, all you can really do is use them as a flashback or as a hallucination.
But then at
that'd
the
be
same
super cool.
time, they might not want to like actually do that because then that would be like they're taking away from the point, which is that she doesn't need Captain America or was it like super?
I can see that, but at the same time, like it'd be cool if they did that, you know.
I mean, I
I
like.
mean,
the
if
reference.
it was like a hallucination where it's like or something like that, where it helped her get over Steve.
Mhm.
Because the whole point is that like Howard had Steve's blood, and that was a huge shock. And then she had this whole emotional ending where she basically hit it in the wall, and it was her basically like trying to get over that,
Yeah.
trying to get over him being gone and that lack of trust. That was their breach of trust. So I feel like if he filmed something, it would serve her more to be like, all right, I can't constantly keep dwelling on the fact that you're gone.
Mhm.
Like I have to move forward. So I think it'd be really cool if they did that. If they could service the character and have her develop. So we'll see how that goes. Keep your fingers crossed. It'd be really great if that came back for a second season. It'd be really great if the first season could finish up. So keep your fingers crossed for that one.
Or if it doesn't make it, just turn it into a comic for at least for a year-long run.
Yeah, well, comic would be great.
Yeah, 12 issues would be fine.
But keeping in line with the Marvel vein, we actually just got news that Marvel is potentially rumored to be in talks with Angelina Jolie to direct the Captain Marvel movie for a whopping $20 million to direct it. So $20 million to direct Captain Marvel. That's the new rumor as of today is Sunday when we're filming this. So as of today, as of like 6 hours ago. So for those of you that didn't know, Angelina Jolie directed Unbroken this year, and that got a lot of critical acclaim. And then you're also telling me that she has directed 2 previous
Yeah,
films.
she directed a documentary before. That was her first directorial debut, and then she directed another not so popular movie before Unbroken. So Unbroken was kind of like her biggest
Yeah, the biggest
thing,
one.
which she had a lot of critics had a lot of problems with it because they said that it was hard for her. Well, it was also difficult for her to even land that job because they didn't think that she would properly be able to do an action
Yeah.
drama with a guy's main story, which is because it's based on a true story.
All part of the Sony
Yeah.
leak, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, is that they're like, oh, we don't want her to direct that.
There's a lot of
There's pushback.
things that came out of the Sony leak that was good and bad. But but she's to direct Captain Marvel, and I think that would be really smart. I would think because she's already been a female action star.
Yeah.
So I mean, she did Lara Croft Tomb Raider, and that was a big deal. So she's already been in that setting, and now she's been behind the camera and she's doing a lot more like action and drama, which she's set to like 2 more movies to come out, one this year and one next year.
Yeah.
So I think that she would be actually like not a bad choice. I think it would just depend on the writers, the tone of the film itself.
I mean, on paper it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because she's doing, like, I don't think it'd be, for Captain Marvel especially, as campy and fun as the rest of the Avengers. I think it would be maybe a little bit more gritty, maybe a little bit more dark. Not in the sense of like bad things have happened to her, but how her character reacts to certain
Yeah.
issues,
Okay.
confrontation.
I would like her being the way that DeConnick is writing her, really confident, even always being confident in what she's doing. Like even when she has like her like moments of doubt, it never stops her from being like robust and rash, or not rash, but like just there. Like
Yeah.
and she's super diplomatic. I mean, if they add like kind of a gritty air, I want to know why.
I think it just more should be like emotional kind of things.
I mean, she's very emotional, but like
I know.
she still keeps she keeps it inside,
Mhm.
and then she deals with that conflict kind of not off screen, but like when no one else is around.
Yeah. I don't know, I think it also depends on how they are treating her within like the universe itself, because like her relationship is a really big deal to with Captain America. And I think how they treat her relationship with Captain America and Iron Man is like a bigger deal, like that would reflect in how she's portrayed in her films, kind of.
Yeah, because there's a lot of mutual respect between Captain America and like you can see a lot of similarities, like what you're talking about, where it's like, I mean, in the sense of like
He
they're
really
fictions,
has to because she's a criminal.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. But like, you know what I mean, though. Where it's like, there's a lot of similarities between them. Like, the confidence you're talking about,
and
like
Tony
in your
has a lot of
convictions.
respect for her too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I always have compared it to kind of like a sister kind of thing, where they have like an older sister. That's how they kind of respect her in that way, which I think would be interesting to see. Because it's also interesting to see how they're going to handle Scarlet Witch and Captain America's relationship in AOU, because we don't really know how that's going to be treated in itself, and this is another like big female character that's coming into the universe, and how they're treated with their co-pilot side partners is like a huge deal.
Well, I hope that, like, I mean, one of the really great parts about Captain America: Winter Soldier was the dynamic between Captain America and Black Widow.
Yeah.
It was very much a brother-sister relationship, and they both respect each other, and they both
I
like.
would call it like a brother sister. I would say it's more like just respect.
Well, I'd say that because
Kind of.
that's the way Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson described it. That they're like, it's a brother-sister relationship for us. Like, that's how we're treating this. Like, there's no tension, there's nothing like that. It's
and that's clear to see on film, which I think was really good.
Yeah.
But also, like, there's been like sexual tension in the comics between Scarlet Witch and Captain America,
Yeah.
which I don't know how they're going to like do that if she's starting out as a villain.
Comics are
Yeah.
weird with Black Widow because like part of her job is that she is a seductress. So like I don't know. I think
Cap might be the first person who hasn't seen her in that light. I think
Yeah,
it's a good way to put it on film.
Well, but that's what I mean though when I talk about that is that like I hope that they use that same relationship between Cap and Black Widow and what you're talking about to make it translate to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
You know, because I do hope that I mean, she flies jets. You know, it's like
she flies jets even when she can fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like she's really awesome. And I hope that they do have like this
And also
realistic
she's
but
like a
fun. I mean, they can make it exactly like how they've been making some of the Marvel movies with their feel, and it'll still feel, you know, really similar. Almost like I feel like an Iron Man 1 kind of feel to it would be a great feel for Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Really big, really loud.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
her crisis is like a humbling experience, but at the same time, she still keeps on par with that. Like, I'm still shit. Or close to
Oh
it.
yeah. Like, as for as for Angelina Jolie, I mean, if she can do it, then that's great. Right now, I don't really have a whole lot of directors in my head that I'm like, like she shouldn't do that because this person should do it. Like, it's not like I think that like. I mean, Joss Whedon's burnt out.
I mean, I would say the Russos.
Yeah.
But that's mostly just because of how they portrayed Black Widow.
Exactly.
And
But
how they wrote her.
they've got, they already have Captain in play, and then they've got the Infinity Wars Part 1 and 2.
I would totally actually, I'd throw it to Jed, to be honest. Jed Whedon. I think maybe he would be a good job for writing for it, especially because of how they've been writing like the female characters in Agents
That's
of
really
S.H.I.E.L.D.
interesting.
So,
I can see that.
keep it in the Whedon family, I guess is how we're going to do
Just keep the entire Marvel thing, the Whedon, like Whedon or Russos, that's pretty much it.
It's pretty solid.
I just want somebody that I really don't care who does it. I just
want to be good.
want to
think.
be good. Yeah, like
All anyone wants is for
Just to be-
these films to be good. So
But then the other big deal is that like this is going to be their first real push for like a female
yeah,
superhero movie.
who's a lead,
Yeah.
like
Who's a leading lady
who's a
with
lead?
herself.
yeah.
She demands all the respect of the guys in the room because she deserves it.
Well, when the Wonder Woman movie, when they're looking for a director, I know the big thing for that was that DC basically said that they were looking for a female director specifically for it.
I don't know.
So like.
Marvel's kind of like copying them in that sense, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I've said this in our previous episode, like DC kind of did that to kind of make up for other things that the casting, for instance, and how she's already been portrayed.
Well,
Portrayed.
I'm wondering if like they picked Angelina
Yeah.
Jolie, if that's why they're following like DC, where it's like we do want to get a female director behind this female-led film, but also because she had Unbroken, which also dealt with a fighter pilot, and they know that she can handle that, and it was a good movie, and so they're like, this is almost for us if we can get Angelina Jolie to direct it.
Plus, also, if you're thinking about like Hollywood politics, it's a good idea to get Angelina Jolie to direct it because she has a lot more ties in Hollywood than a lot of other directors would.
Yep.
So she can get pretty much anybody and everybody she wants. She can get any probably cinematographer she wants. She can probably get any like leads that she wants or side. That's because that's how much pull just her and Brad Pitt
Yeah,
have.
outside
Yeah.
of like the major directors.
Yeah, so when you think about that, like it's smart too because if Marvel gets their hands on her, it's kind of like we have a golden goose.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's actually kind of cool now that I think about it, like having her, like you said, the woman who played Tomb Raider, now directing a film with a character that literally almost has the same persona. I think that'll, maybe after talking about it, it sounds a little bit
And
better.
also,
Yeah.
the fact that she knows
We got
her
her.
way around
Yeah.
like female action,
Yeah, she
kind of,
knows.
and the
She's
genre
been
and
there,
stereotypes. Like she's probably able to do a lot more with that than some other people who may not be
Yeah.
as familiar with those kind of genres.
So we'll, like with everything else we talked about tonight, we'll get more news on that as that comes out. And who knows, this could be confirmed like tomorrow or like by the time this episode airs. So we'll keep you updated on that because God knows I'll be watching for that. Going back to Netflix, where we were talking about earlier,
No.
Netflix.
I don't want to talk about this.
Wall Street Journal has come out and announced that Netflix is rumored to be working with Nintendo to develop a live-action Legend of Zelda TV series that's supposed to be described as Game of Thrones for a family audience.
No!
Which is such a weird way to describe.
I mean, I think they're just using like
I think-
keywords.
Yeah, I think because most of the time if you think Game of Thrones, you think of fantasy elements. So I
you
think
think
that's
of that.
they're trying to
That's
say
what
like
they're drawing.
dark and gritty fantasy mixed, but like set with the young audience, kind of like.
The interesting thing is, like, there is no point in my life, in my entire life, where I've sat to myself and I said, you know what? Legend of Zelda would make a great TV series.
I have
Someone
never
should
thought
make
that.
it a great TV. Like, that's the
That's
third
like
time
the-
I've said this sentence ever.
Mario, you could
Yeah. I mean,
Three Brothers.
Mario,
Oh,
Nintendo franchise is translated to like TV shows or movies.
No,
Not
it
have a
just-
great track record.
No, like,
So
you have a bunch of toy makers making a movie? No. At best, we can get cartoons out of them. But I have never, like you said, I've never like sat there and been playing Zelda or Kirby or anything and just been like, man, I could see this in real life. I would love to see DDD or, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Like, how do you keep the whimsical,
well, that's the other thing too is that Link Link only makes noises. Link literally just makes noises. He goes, huh, hey.
I think he says okay. I think that's like the only thing he's ever said. Like he's,
Okay. The
Yeah.
entire series is
Yeah.
based on the
Like-
first episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, no one really talks in that universe that we've heard so far. Maybe the new Legend of Zelda will have like actual dialogue from Link. Like maybe
I don't want it.
It's just, I don't know. Netflix has a good track record with TV shows currently, and they're working with Nintendo.
Have they-
So like, it could go well, but it could also go real. It could be another Wand of Gamelon,
Oh,
which
stop it. Maybe
is the
if
best.
they don't include Link, Zelda, or Ganon, and only reference them, and it's just like a story in the
Based
world,
on the world.
Maybe we get a storyline following Tingle. That would be good.
that'd be funny.
A Tingle storyline.
Or the postman, because he
the
gets around.
postman. Like he just constantly runs. He doesn't stop running. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know.
I just like
I feel like it would work better if they didn't. If you're right, if it was characters that weren't necessarily related to Link, Zelda, with Ganondorf, things like that.
because I mean, if you're gonna describe it as a Game of Thrones for a family, like then what point would
I will
they
admit,
even? What will they even play? Like
I don't know. I will admit, I feel like if they followed it from Sheik's perspective, I feel like that could be cool. I feel like she could be good.
I mean, you don't.
Yeah, I'm
But-
out of my element here. I actually never played Zelda. which is
Really?
crazy. Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, we learned
It's okay.
something, and so did you
I
guys.
know.
It's okay.
I
That
never
was.
played Zelda. I've seen it played.
Hey, I mean, partaking in it in any form is playing it.
Yeah, I mean,
I know that Zelda is a princess. Not
yeah.
Yeah.
so that's
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm one.
Yeah, big
Um,
thumbs up for that.
Yeah.
Actually, no, real quick, I'm gonna throw it over to Dan. Dan, what do you think?
About, like, I agree that it should be about the people of the city and of the world,
Yeah.
not necessarily the main characters. Because, like you guys were saying, it'll drive a better story. It'll create like more of a 3-dimension to the world that you guys have already played in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make it Lion King 1.5 and get like a kid
Let's
from the
not do that.
Kokiri Forest. We get like a kid from the Kokiri
Yeah.
Forest, and they grow up and they like follow Link and they interact with everything.
The one that's trying to,
Like,
like, the one that's like an Ocarina of Time that keeps you from leaving, and like he gets so mad that like you just eventually leave, and he's like, you know what? Damn him. Damn you, Link. I'm gonna get you.
Because I don't follow this, but if they're like, because if Nintendo is actually like planning on launching a new Zelda game in the next 2 years, and this is actually a really smart marketing move for them to have a TV show before it that would be focused to get people hooked on the game.
I mean,
So, and they could be doing that. That could be one of the reasons why they've agreed to work with Netflix.
I mean,
Nintendo came out and they said we don't comment on rumors or speculation. So we have no announcements at this time, and Netflix also hasn't made an announcement on it. So this could literally just be pure speculation that's gone wild.
man.
But we don't know yet. I mean,
I really hope.
I don't. Maybe this is one of those things where they're like releasing it to see what the reaction is, and then they'll decide from there. Because I don't know. This is definitely one of the weirdest things I've heard all. Like it's only been like a little over a month, and that's easily the craziest thing I've heard all year so
That's
far.
the craziest thing you've heard.
It's just.
That's not something when the new year came around like, yeah, I can't wait to hear about the new Legend of Zelda TV series on Netflix.
I don't want it, but if it is a real thing and it does happen, I want it.
I'll support it
I wanna
if
see
it
it.
comes out. I'm
I wanna
gonna
see
want
it.
to see it, even if it's awful. I'm gonna want to watch
Life
it.
is about experience, and if this is one I gotta sit through, I will sit through it.
That was wow. That
That
was.
was so deep somehow.
I didn't mean to.
Me
Sorry.
So keep your fingers crossed that whatever comes out of it is good. Whether or not it actually goes through, or whether or not it gets canceled. I feel like if it gets canceled now, everyone's gonna be like, "But what could it have been? What would it have been like?" And then everyone just points to Wanna Gamble or the like one or
Yeah,
like the
go
one
on.
season TV series. That was on like 89.
Somebody say it. Please say it.
Say what?
Excuse me.
Boy, like,
Princess. Oh my God.
Excuse me, princess.
Ah.
Yeah, please none of that. Yeah.
No, please a lot
So-
of that. If they don't do it once, just like half said somewhere, I will. I mean,
Yeah.
I won't do anything rash, but I will just. Who cares? Okay.
All right. Well, that's moving on. That was
Yeah, that's-
That was the movie.
All right. So moving on. We wanted to just throw this in because you guys went crazy on this when we posted it last week. Doctor Who and Wally Legos are coming out. Lego announced that they're officially making Doctor Who Legos, and you guys went crazy about it.
That's exciting.
That's really exciting. I'm excited. I think we're all excited for it. Are you excited for it?
I don't watch Doctor Who either.
Oh, man.
These are like topics that are not like in my. I know.
Thank you.
I've been told. Oh wait, I
Whoa,
want
just
to.
happened?
No,
What
I've
just happened?
I've been told to watch Doctor Who numerous
Thanks, Dan.
times. But the problem is that when when so many people tell you like you have to watch this show, and I had a friend who I agreed. I was like, all right, I'll watch like however many seasons
You
of
didn't
Doctor
like
Who
it.
if you watch Firefly, which I thought was reasonable.
That
That is a reasonable request.
And-
They should just watch
Yeah,
it without
watch
you
it.
having to watch.
They watched half of the first episode and they said, I can't get into this, it's too boring. And I was like, well, now I'm bitter, I'm not going to watch Doctor Who.
They can't get into Firefly?
Yeah.
First off, unfriend them.
I mean, we're working on it. Ooh,
I don't-
you don't know who you are. No.
Just like how? What? Can we
It's
just?
difficult. I know.
I mean,
I know, we're getting distracted from
Okay.
Legos.
I liked Doctor Who, but really not liking Serenity.
Firefly?
Or sorry.
No, it was.
Same thing.
Same.
Yeah, same thing. Fine.
Alright, cool. You guys have this back
Yeah,
topic.
we'll
We're
all
gonna
just
scoot
like-
forward and talk
Okay,
about
Legos.
this. But yeah, so
Legos.
the Lego thing's huge. They're gonna come out with sets, obviously, whenever they announce the TARDIS, because
People are gonna crazy.
they're gonna buy it. I'm
Man.
gonna buy the exterior TARDIS and the interior TARDIS sets. Like, thanks Dan for the smaller and bigger on the
Yeah.
inside thing.
I know that much. I can like say that I know the references.
I didn't actually look at the. Are they gonna like
I
do
know that
that?
Sonic
Give, like
screwdriver.
buy it.
They haven't announced what they're actually
Okay, because if they
making.
make like a TARDIS, I hope like they like
They'll
have
probably come out
just
and have,
like the
each
model of
Doctor
it,
as a
like super
series.
small, and then they like have like the big like Death Star like size like 4,000 piece one, and it's just
I mean,
like
I
the
would love
inside
that.
of the TARDIS.
I would buy that. I would buy the crap out of that.
I wouldn't, because that's gonna like be like $300, $400. There's no way I would buy that, but that's really cool.
Well,
There's no.
well, I guess.
Man,
I guess
I will watch you build it though.
I guess you're more of a responsible
We
spender
could
than
do
I
like,
am.
you know, we could like fast forward on camera you building it and then you eventually getting tired. or,
Yeah, and then you can like watch me like
Yeah.
put something on right and just
getting
like throw
angry.
it on the
It's
ground.
gonna be great. This is a good. That's like a mini series.
I mean,
on you like.
I'm
like,
super excited for that though. Like, I want to get the interior of the TARDIS. We don't know if they're gonna do like scenes, if they're gonna come out with the Weeping Angel ones. You know they will.
Yeah, it's gonna look super awkward and cute because they're
It
gonna.
is. It's gonna look awkward and cute.
Yeah.
It'll be like this and like.
Can they even do that? Because their arms are so tiny. Like the best they
It's
can
like
do
this.
is
It's
like
like
this.
this. Yeah. It's literally like this and then.
Like,
But you know, I'm gonna get the interior. I don't know. We don't know if they're gonna which doctor they're gonna do the interior for. If
I
they
think
do
they'll
one.
do like different doctors for different sets. It makes most
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, they have to release
Like,
all of the
Obviously, nothing but
12 13 doctors now. They have to release all 13 doctors as Lego minifigs.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really cool, and I'm freaking out about that because I'm gonna want it. I'm gonna want all of them.
I'm gonna want to watch you play with them. And
Okay.
Yeah.
We can
But-
have an episode of that.
yeah, I just
So,
man,
It's gonna be put together like
they're
a-
so expensive.
well, they are. That's the problem.
That's
That's
the
also
problem.
expensive. It's okay. I get a discount because I work at Disney. So, also Wally Legos. That's gonna be adorable.
Okay, that
Yeah,
was
so
a
they
side-
have-
that's
they
cute.
have
side
a-
note, though, like 5 years. You know, like how long ago did Wally come out? 2010, right?
I think that was
2009, 2010.
8, 09.
It's close to 2010. I know that. Like,
Maybe just know.
Go, Dan, go.
2009. I'm gonna say 2009.
I mean, they actually do have a large robot model of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually have like a scale model of
What
Wally.
took them this long? Is my question.
2008.
2008.
All right,
Um,
that's close. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
yeah. No, I don't understand what took them this long.
So-
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it. Maybe. I mean, they don't really have a lot of Disney Legos. I know they've got like some of the Disney Princess Legos, but that's pretty much it. Aside from that and Avengers.
Well, Star Wars is technically
So,
Disney.
well, yeah,
And
true.
they got a
But
lot
like
of Star Wars.
pure Disney movies, like.
I don't know, but
It is
after
now.
albums like
Shut up. You know what I mean?
to do Wally Legos
Yeah.
maybe is like kind of weird. I think if you're gonna start with maybe like Monsters Inc. Legos with different doors or like other things they could have done. Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll take.
Rex.
I love Wally. I will buy that one too, and then you can watch me put. You can help me put that one together.
I like. Yeah, I like.
So,
Wally.
you know, that's gonna be really great.
I
I'm
just think it's
excited.
just weird.
I'm excited for Legos. I say I'm excited, and then I'm gonna buy them, and then I'm not gonna buy them. And that's what's gonna happen.
You better not be one of the people that
You're
don't
gonna
open them.
Yeah.
Oh god, no! Are you kidding me? If I buy it, I'm opening it. I'm not one of those people that like buys a box and
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And then they
I
like
bought
put
the
it away.
box.
Yeah.
I'm gonna resell this because that's cool. Why? No, have fun
I
with
mean-
it. Toys are meant to be played with.
I mean, no offense to any of our fans that do that, but like, I feel like Lego's whole point is that you buy them and then you
Yeah.
build them and you
It's
create
just
the
cool.
city.
If
Unless
you
you're
guys are
insane.
ever interested, watching like a Star Wars documentary on Netflix, it's like really, it's basically about collectors who collect things, and it was crazy. I was thinking like they should partner with Hoarders, like that's how crazy it is with like how much stuff they just have in
Organized.
boxes.
Oh, is it just in boxes?
It's
Man,
a lot of
that
this
stuff
is in
would be.
boxes, yeah. because,
Already
like,
doing that with Amiibos.
And they have, like, 10
Looking at you,
things.
Captain Falcon.
It's still in the box.
Yeah, I still haven't taken it out because I don't know if I want to sell it or not because it's going for a crazy amount of money
Oh, well
online.
then sell it and then like. down
No,
the
but then
line.
I won't be able to ever get Captain Falcon ever again.
But you can get so many more things.
Like.
Like
Other
a PS4.
I don't know, this is getting way off topic. We should stop. We're getting way off topic. Dan,
Oh.
someone else to wrap it up because we're over time.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have anything else you want to add real quick?
Comics for
Comics.
this week. Deadpool came back with Return of the Living Deadpool. It's a continuation of the last Deadpool universe where everybody became zombies. It's funny and like really insightful actually. It's really weird when he has his moments of insight. And then Spider-Woman, it's pretty awesome. Really, really liking it.
Can I do mine? When you're done?
What?
Can I do mine when you're done?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then Batman Endgame. Somebody's coming back. Spoiler alert. It's probably the Joker since he's on the damn thing.
That's very astute of you. And then Star Wars number 2. You know, Jason Aaron's been writing them, and they've been firing on all cylinders. You know, ever since it came out. First one is really, really good. The thing that I love about it, it's very epic. It's got an epic movie-esque feel to it because the first comic starts out with you flip the page and it says a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then you turn the page and it's 2 full pages that's entirely black except there's Star Wars written in big bold letters and the typical Star Wars lettering written on there. So you can almost, as you're reading it, you can almost imagine the John Williams theme. And this one continues. We get our first Luke and Darth Vader fight in this comic. They already are fighting in this one, and it stays true to a lot of things in the movies in between episode 4, that end, and the beginning of episode 5, where it's like Luke is still relying on Ben for advice. And
We have to talk about that next week because I read this article that kind of like blew my mind. Anyway,
and there's still a lot of there's still a lot of flirtation.
Post it to the Facebook.
oh true.
Yeah, true. And there's still a lot of flirtation between Han Solo and Leia. You know, so like you can tell the seeds between the movies are there, and it doesn't necessarily mess up with anything. You know, it doesn't affect anything. Not that it matters because this isn't canon, but you know, a lot of Star Wars fans are happy about this, and so far Marvel's been doing a great job.
And we're getting the big wrap up. So
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So
Sign off.
yeah, do you have anything else you want to add real quick?
Nope, I'm good. I'm solid.
Okay, cool. Alright, great. Well, that makes it easy then. So, thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode. We really appreciate you supporting us and liking our stuff on Facebook. We'll be posting stuff all throughout the week. If you have any questions, let us know on Facebook. Follow us on iTunes, Louder, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, all of those things. Twitter, Tumblr. Yeah,
I'll be making one of them Twitter things soon.
yep. I'll be making one of them too. So.
Okay, well, information will go up,
Yeah.
in which you
Exactly.
can yell at me personally through Twitter. It's
But
gonna be
it's-
fun. I'll fight
yes.
back.
But just follow us on all those things, and thank you if you already have. Signing off for this week, I am John Dwyer.
Dennis Costello.
And Lacey Malik.
We're Nerds in Box. Good night, everybody.